Mackenzie Johnston with Tri-State Livestock News, bringing you discussions concerning fair cattle markets. Today we have the opportunity to chat with Jay Nordhausen. He is the co-owner and manager of Ogallala Livestock Auction Market, located in Ogallala, Nebraska. To start off with, can you just tell me a little bit about your background and your involvement in the cattle industry?
Yeah, probably the easiest way is, I grew up here in Ogallala, was active in, of course, 4-H and judging livestock, and I went to Colby Community College and judged there, and then I went to Nebraska, graduated with my undergraduate in 2010, and had the opportunity to be the assistant livestock judging coach and get my graduate degree there, and I did that. And after I completed that, I decided to come back home and had several different opportunities, but just always wanted to be involved in livestock marketing one way or the other, and especially, the auction way and auction markets. So that's kind of how I landed where I was. It's just in my blood. I mean, multi-generations of being involved in auction markets, family-wise, and just something I always wanted to do. So I guess since I graduated college, I kind of got a broad scope of different cattle industry careers. Was involved in the American Angus Association. I worked for them for 2 years, and then I had the opportunity to come back here to Ogallala and start working here, and I took that and then had the opportunity to buy into it, Mackenzie, and got that done this year. So,
What do you feel are the biggest issues standing in the way of fair cattle markets today?
For us, this is probably one of those questions I don't really want to get too involved in, but me personally, yeah, there's a lot of things, especially on the fat cattle side, that we look at and we don't like just because we don't have enough players on the block, essentially. For a small producer, I mean, there's just certain things that you have to seize your opportunities and get them wired down. So,
do you think there's a chance that the cattle industry is in danger of becoming vertically integrated because we see big ag getting bigger and we see a lot of the small to mid-sized producers dropping out of the game?
Yeah, I definitely think that's a concern. And, I mean, you see it with a lot of these backgrounders that were independent before, and now they're backgrounding for these bigger feedlots. And it does seem like it's the way of the industry. I don't think it'll be a fast transition, maybe like the hogs or chickens or turkeys, but, you think about the beef industry, the cattle industry, and the producers and how independent-minded they are and how focused they are on just their personal improvements with genetics and management and range. It's going to be a lot harder in the cattle industry to get that done. And the day it's totally vertically integrated, I don't want to be around to see it, I guess.
Much of the Midwest is dealing with drought conditions. What advice do you have for producers when it comes to marketing their cull cows, as we're seeing quite a few cull cows come to town right now?
Yeah, that's a good question. A lot of that depends on guys' resources and what they have and what they can do. If you're in bitter straits, just with the way this cull cow market has been, especially for the last 9 months, it really hasn't changed a lot. So if a guy approaches me and asks me what they should do, I'd probably say, well, I want to try to fight it. I'd get the cows sold and go on because of the conditions. So, I tell you that, but it wasn't very long ago I was telling you this thing. It has gotten softer here after Thanksgiving, but yeah, I would definitely advise those guys to get them to town, get them cleaned up.
How has the calf market fared there at Ogallala Livestock over the past few months?
This summer, looking into the fall, just with all the volatility and all the challenges we face with COVID and March and April, these prices have been good. We've had good buyer attendance and good buyer activity, and especially on the yearlings and the calves, there's always a sale for us in the fall that's softer, but we didn't have any big wrecks by any means, so it was a good fall. And we look forward to carrying that momentum into this winter.
We're starting to see quite a few bred females hit the market. Do you have any advice for producers looking to market their bred females? Is now the time to take them to town, or after the first of the year? What's your take on that?
Well, historically, and more often than not, for us here in Ogallala, December is usually the peak on these bred cows, and we might tail off after the first of the year a bit. Now, last year was not the case. It actually got higher, closer to calving. This year, being a betting man, I guess I'm just thinking there's more stimulus money out there that guys might have to go spend before the first of the year. And if they're set up okay in regards to grass going in weather and dry conditions, I think they might have to charge ahead and get some cows bought here before the first of the year. So I think December will be good. And, of course, for all our consigners, I hope it gets better as we go forth if they don't sell in December.
You have some pretty big bred female sales coming up in the next few weeks. Do you want to elaborate on those two sales?
Yeah, we have a big one here on the 7th, and we're looking at about 3,250 head, and some really big, just marquee dispersions that are coming. Of course, the Sealison Ranch, which has been in Keith County probably since the 1880s. I think that ranch has some size to it in regards to being a township, So it's just a big historic. All the ground is right there, but they're selling 555 head. Their first calvers all the way to their short solids. And calving March 1st, it'll be something that does not come around the corner every day. And then another big dispersion between both the 7th and the 14th will be Benton and Son, Fred and Wendy Halava. They will be selling their complete herd. And on the 7th, they'll sell 284 of their 3 and 4 year olds. They calve April 1st for 60 days, but they're all Krebs and Power genetics. So just a real good foundation herd there, and they'll be selling those 2 weeks. Getting back to the big picture of these sales, we have over 800 bred heifers for the 7th. Just lots of quality, lots of names people are going to be familiar with coming to town. And the 14th will reflect that as well. So we'll have a number of dispersions, complete and age dispersions on both these sales. So it's going to be some really good opportunities for some guys to get some good genetics through some really reputation producers.
And remember, you can bid and buy online for both of those sales at www.cattleusa.com. And to view consignment details and videos for those sales, head on over to ogallalalive.com, or you can go ahead and call the office at 308-284-2071.